Hello and welcome to Our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World Resorts in 2019. Today is day 209.
It's moving day again, but we are not going far. Once again, we're staying here at the Polynesian. We are currently in a deluxe studio with a standard view, and we're going to a deluxe studio with a lake view. So hopefully, we're not going to have to go very far. There's only one building with lake view rooms, I believe, so we should just be able to go straight over to our room. So at 8 o'clock this morning, I went up to the front to let them know, hey, we are checking in and we are also checking out. If there's any way we can get a room that's ready early, we would love to go around 11 o'clock and just put our stuff in our new room and not have to go sit in the lobby for a while. They told me they would put me on the list and see if we could get a room early, but there were no guarantees, and I could go back to my room and they'd let me know whenever the room was ready. So I went back to the room, told Alyssa, we got everything all packed up, and then around 10:30 I walked back to the front to check in and see if maybe they had a room ready and if maybe I didn't get the text message. And it turns out that they did, and for whatever reason I did not get the text, which happens a lot. So I was like, hey, we've got a room. This is good. We can take our stuff and go straight over there. So I went to Bell Services and said, hey, can I get a cart? Because I just want to push it from one building to the other. I'll bring it right back. It'll be fast. And the bellman said, I would love to give you a cart, but we are actually out of carts because they've all been checked out and we don't know when they're coming back. It was a very busy day for checkouts. So he said, you know what, since I'm not doing anything, I don't have a cart to run or anything right now, what if I just come over there with a golf cart, load it up for you, and then move it to the next building for you? Normally I wouldn't get Bell Services involved, just transferring rooms in the same resort like this. But we have a lot of suitcases to take between the two rooms. It is a different building and there are no carts available. So taking the golf cart seems like the most logical option at this point. I told him which room number it was and I headed back to the room to let Alyssa know he was on the way and we could load everything up. As soon as he got there, we started carrying all the suitcases out and putting them in the back of his golf cart to go over to the next building.
While Robert was gone, I was doing final checks in the room. We always check all the drawers under the bed, anything we need to, especially the safe, just to make sure we haven't left anything. And then I went and sat out on our patio one more time before it was time to go. And while I was out there, I looked down and I was like, there was a Mickey head painted outside of our room. And I was like, oh my goodness, someone painted a Mickey head out here. Like, that's actually a really cool thing. I'm not going to tell anyone because I thought it was great, so I'm going to leave it for someone else to find. And then we did load up all of the luggage and head to the new room. We got there. I walked out to see our new view. I looked down. I was like, no. Someone had painted 2 Mickey heads outside of this room. And I was like, okay, now it's just awesome. Like, the one time it was really cool, but I guess this is a thing. Like, someone's gone around and painted Mickey heads all over the Polynesian, and now I'm gonna have to look for them. So while I was standing out there, the bellman actually drove up with our luggage and starts unloading the luggage. I was like, oh my goodness, that is so smart. So much easier for you to unload back here as opposed to going through the main entrance of the building, walking down the hallway to our room. That's just so smart. He goes, yeah, we're not supposed to do it, but it's a lot easier on us and we're able to get the luggage to the guests faster. So I just decided to do it because we have such a busy day. I was like, that's okay, I won't tell anyone. And I haven't for 2 years, but now I'm sharing the story.
So you lied to the bellman and told him you wouldn't tell anyone.
I didn't say how long I wouldn't tell anybody.
After we finished unloading all the luggage, we tipped the bellman, he headed back to the front, and then we proceeded to take all of our luggage and wheel it into the hallway because we have to do a room tour here. We didn't get to do one before the bellman brought the luggage over. So we pushed all the luggage out in the hallway, Alyssa stood out there with it, and then I went in and videoed a room tour for us to post up on Facebook and YouTube. Now in the room we do have the ability to sleep 5 in this room, starting with the queen bed here that you have, which is a little bit of a unique setup. It is raised up off the ground on the front of the bed here, so you can store some stuff underneath. But there are also drawers on either side towards the back, so you actually can store some things under the bed in those drawers, and it gives you a little bit of extra space to store things, but that's about all the storage you have here is the under the bed and the closet, so a little bit limited on that. And as usual, if you'd like to see the whole tour, it is linked in the description and up there in the corner.
And then we brought all of the luggage back into the room after the tour was done. Once we got settled, I started working on an Instacart order. We do have the studio here for a few days, which is really nice. And we also want to be able to review another grocery delivery because we want to see the difference in them and be able to share which one's our favorite. Well, the one thing I don't like about Instacart is, unlike Amazon Prime Now, they don't show the ingredients of what you're ordering. Every item on Amazon Prime showed the ingredients list so you could see what was inside. Especially for allergies, this is really helpful. They don't do that on Instacart, and the main store that most people order from is Publix. We don't have a Publix in Indiana, so I've never ordered from Publix. I don't know their products enough to be able to order from them, so I order from Aldi because that is a store I do know and I have ordered from before. So I ordered a bunch of Aldi products, and this was actually really difficult because in order to get free shipping, you have to have a $35 order. It's really hard to spend $35 at Aldi for 2 people for items that you can put in your room and be able to transfer from room to room. I finally made it work. I had a bunch of snacks and all sorts of things in there. We placed the order, and 4 hours later, the order was at the front. I got the text, it's been delivered. I was like, wow, this is amazing service. So I went up to Bell Services, I got our groceries, and then I took the most amazing picture of an Aldi grocery bag that they will ever have out there on the internet. I promise. It was gorgeous. And I look like a crazy person in the middle of the green of the Polynesian taking a picture of an Aldi bag. Once we got back to the room, everything that needed to go in the fridge we put in there. We set up and took a photo so I could show some of the items that we ordered. And then we grabbed the stuff we ordered for s'mores because it is time for s'mores. We don't want to miss this. We haven't even had dinner yet, but we're not going to miss s'mores. I just took the time to order all this. I don't want to miss it. So we headed out there and made some s'mores. And it really does make a difference when you bring your own graham cracker and chocolate, because you actually do get a s'more. It's not just a marshmallow that you're roasting. You get the whole s'more. And I really, really like s'mores, and I was so happy. But it was getting dark outside. It was getting very windy, and we were a little concerned it was going to rain on us. Thankfully, it did not. We did make it back to our room, but just in time, because about 20 minutes after we got back to our room, it got even darker, it got even windier. We're looking outside, we're like, it's definitely coming. And this storm just came. You could not see past the bungalows from our room, which is crazy. That's how hard it was raining. And then 20 minutes later, it was raining even harder. There was water running down off the building, hitting right in front of our patio. But just like Florida weather, it only lasted about half an hour. It lightened up, and because it was sunset time, we had this gorgeous orange haze, and the view was beautiful. It was amazing. And the crazy part was we could still see lightning off in the distance, even with the beautiful sunset and the orange haze everywhere. It was still storming off in the distance, but thankfully it wasn't here anymore.
While that storm was going, we did decide to eat because all we've had is the s'mores for dinner. So we got out the cereal and milk that we just ordered and had that for dinner. Always a good idea to have cereal and milk at any time. So we had dinner, and then after we finished, we worked on sending over the final details for the conference over to Disney, because we do have to have that in tomorrow, which is the first work day of the week after our deadline. So getting everything in right there at the deadline, making sure we've got it all set and good to go with Disney. After that, we watched the fireworks from our patio. We were really excited, hoping we could see, kind of like we did at our last lagoon view room. Maybe we'd have a good fireworks view. We could see them kind of, but it wasn't nearly as good as our view from the Lagoon View club level building. Although I think had we been on a higher floor, the second or third floor, it would have been a lot better. We just happened to get that first floor room with a lake view. Once the fireworks were over, it had cooled down quite a bit because of that late evening shower. We decided to go out and go for a walk. So we walked down past all the bungalows along the beach there at the Polynesian, all the way over to Grand Floridian and back a couple times, just out enjoying the nice evening here at Poly and all the beautiful music and the weather and just being here at our kind of home resort for the next couple days. It's been really nice to be at the same resort, several rooms in a row, and we actually have one more room at Polynesian coming up after this one, so we've moved around a lot less lately, and it's been really relaxing to be here at this kind of relaxing resort as it is anyway. Once we were done with our walk, we headed back to our room, and that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.